Good evening, this is CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Topping our news tonight, terrifying moments this morning at a Prince George's school as a fight breaks out and a student is stabbed. It happened just before 9 o'clock at Accokeek Academy in Accokeek. Investigators say a fight broke out outside the building on Berry Road when the stabbing happened. The injuries are said to be non-life-threatening. 2 students have been detained as part of that investigation. Now, this is the second stabbing at a Maryland school in as many days. Yesterday, a 15-year-old was arrested for allegedly stabbing a 17-year-old. It happened at Hammond High School in Howard County. The 17-year-old was taken to a hospital and released. Well, with RSV, COVID-19, and the flu cases increasing every day, what can you do to protect yourself? Health officials say it's simple. Wash your hands, cover your coughs and sneezes, and avoid close contact with people who are sick. It will go a long way in keeping you healthy. Tonight, we continue our conversation with Dr. Jin-Leen Chen about staying safe this holiday season.
It's important to, first and foremost, some basic things that we would advise any winter season, whether it's because of COVID or flu or RSV or any other cold, for example. But cover your cough and sneezes, washing hands, kind of going back to basics. Don't forget that those things work. And trying to avoid close contact with others who are sick. And if you do get sick, stay home. And that's, keeping your kids home from school or childcare, or staying home from work. And if you have the opportunity to telework while you're sick, that will help prevent the spread of illness to others.
Dr. Chan says getting your COVID bivalent booster and the flu shot will help prevent serious illness. Well, here are the COVID-19 numbers rounding out the week. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed more than 1,000 new cases this month alone. We've seen more than 13,000 cases. Now, the ever-rising positivity number in Prince George's is at 13.68%. 8 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours. 592 people are hospitalized. Well, saying they are living history, the embodiment of the dreams and hopes of sacrifices of those who came before, Governor-elect Wes Moore gave the commencement speech at Morgan State University today. The graduates and their families filled Hill Field House for the ceremony. Here is some of what Moore told the graduates.
I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be back on the campus of truly the national treasure, which is the Morgan State University. You all represent our state's best, and frankly, y'all represent our country's best. Founded during Reconstruction, committed to social justice, academic excellence, you have strengthened and made sure that our state is better because of your leadership and your work.
More than 500 graduates received their undergrad and advanced degrees during Morgan's fall commencement. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Stay tuned. More news in a bit.
Dear Santa, I hope you are having a good day in the North Pole. Is it cold all the time there? Is that why your cheeks are so rosy? My mom says I'm a good helper, but you didn't come last year. Was my chimney broken? I just really hope this year when I wake up, I'm gonna see that you came to my house too. Wow.
Donate and help the Marines deliver hope to a child in need.
Welcome back. Police have released the name of the man who was fatally shot at Capitol Heights on Wednesday. He is 34-year-old Lomax McIntyre of Capitol Heights. Investigators say he was found on the 5900 block of Marlboro Pike at about 9:15 that night. McIntyre was pronounced dead at the scene. Anyone who may have information is asked to contact the authorities. Well, should Puerto Rico become the 51st state? That's up to Puerto Ricans, according to Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer. The Democrat backs a measure that could determine Puerto Rico's political status. Known as the Puerto Rico Status Act, it cleared the House in a 233 to 191 vote yesterday. If enacted, it would allow Puerto Ricans to vote on whether they want statehood, independence, or independence followed by free association with the U.S.
With the remarks that Mr. Westerman has made. Less than us. Less than Maryland, less than Virginia, or Oregon, or Texas, or Maine, or Washington State. Yes, they're citizens, but less. 3.5 million people are less.
In this bill, we have made historic and unprecedented gains. Never before have terms for independence and free association been so clearly defined, including ramifications for citizenship.
Well, Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory for more than 100 years, and its residents are U.S. citizens. Previous votes on statehood have failed. The legislation now heads to the Senate, where passage there is uncertain. Well, students at a Lanham school went home today with new coats, gloves, and hats. The winter coat giveaway took place at Magnolia Elementary School. The event was hosted in partnership with the county, Enterprise Holdings, and the Prince George's County chapter of Top Ladies of Distinction.
Anyone being warm is very important, especially around during this time. And so what I always think about is this may be the only gift that a child gets during the holiday season. So we want to make sure that the presentation is there and that they understand that we're truly giving from the heart.
I think it's incredibly important to strengthen our communities that we work in, that we live in, that we service. So anytime we can give back to the community, especially the kids, so they can focus on what's most important, which is being their best self.
And more than 400 coats and winter accessories were handed out today. Well, volunteers gather in Mount Rainier to pass out food to families in need this holiday season. The city of Mount Rainier is distributing 600 bags of food today. Inside those bags are a ham or turkey, broccoli, corn, and non-perishable items.
It's very important for us to be able to help the community. The inflation rate continues to go up. COVID numbers have continued to go up. And some people are also trying to recuperate themselves financially through the COVID struggles. So I think that some people feel like, it's going on and we still need to be able to stand up and help them. So it's the community coming together to make sure we're looking one after another.
And funding for the holiday food giveaway came from the American Rescue Plan. Well, more news and sports after the break. Stay tuned.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back. The city of Greenbelt announces the members of its newly appointed Reparations Commission. The 21-member body was set in motion in November of 2021 when voters passed a referendum to create a reparations board. Members are tasked with reviewing and discussing the issue of reparations for African Americans and Native Americans in the city of Greenbelt. The board's first meeting is set for next month. When environmental advocates say poor and marginalized communities are often the first places cited for hazardous waste, resource extraction, and other land uses. Several studies show that exposure to environmental harms is not equitably distributed. It's a topic that EPA Regional Administrator Adam Ortiz wants to tackle head on.
In the new year, we're going to be rolling out a focus on frontline environmental justice communities, and we're going to focus on about 25 communities throughout the region, from Pennsylvania to West Virginia to Virginia to the ocean, that are really struggling with environmental challenges. And these are communities that are near areas that are exposed to a lot of toxic waste, air pollution, or waters that are unsafe, including drinking water. So we want to focus on these frontline communities. We want to engage with them and help make sure that they get the assistance and resources they need to have healthy neighborhoods.
Ortiz is the former director of the Prince George's County Department of the Environment. Well, we know the Maryland state crustacean, but some are wondering if the region's blue crab are migrating north due to climate change. A research facility in Maine recently found blue crabs in coastal waters there, surprising some researchers. Blue crabs are generally found along the Atlantic coast, far south of Maine.
So the Gulf of Maine is one of the fastest warming bodies of water in the world. So we've seen shifts like this in other fish and crustacean species, where as the waters warm, they become more hospitable for more southern species who originally would not be able to survive in the Gulf of Maine. Particularly the winter temperatures just would be far too cold for them to survive over the winters. The thought is that as the Gulf of Maine is warming, it's allowing blue crabs to survive the otherwise cold Maine winters.
Now, researchers are not sure if Chesapeake Bay blue crabs are migrating north as well, but they say those migrating to Maine are likely from other parts of New England. Well, sports news, football, the Terps are getting ready to take on North Carolina State in Duke's Mayo Bowl game later this month. And for the first time since early this season, the Terps have extra time off to get ready for a game. The team's quarterback says the extra time will benefit the players.
You know, the way Coach Locke sets everything up with all this time off, you know, we've been practicing a lot, been working out together a lot, and, you know, we always go, it's kind of like a fall camp practice where we start from square one, you know, start with the basics, getting the plays down, getting our fundamentals, techniques, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a, you know, like another restart. The coach always says it's like the new beginning of next season. So, you know, we feel like working, you know, from square one and stuff like that, we get to refresh in our mind and refresh in our abilities and stuff like that, you know, to work together. So with all this time off, you know, we feel like it benefits us.
Now, the Terps take the field against the Wolfpack on December 30th in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, we are in the kitchen again with Taylor Thomas tonight in her What's for Dinner segment. Chef James Wiggins shows us how to make apple butter.
Here I have 6 apples, and we're just going to cut them down, and we're going to add them to our pot with our seasonings, and we're going to cook them until they're soft.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit it with our immersion blender, which is my favorite kitchen utensil, to make it smooth.
I do
like
love
butter.
And so how long would this normally take?
This is a little bit lengthy because you want the apples to be a proper softness. 25 minutes, half an hour. 4 ounces of honey. Honey is your sweetener. Okay. All right, now how the kids say it. Wasn't that so satisfying right there? That was satisfying watching that drizzle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And you can use pure vanilla if you would like. Here's your cinnamon, nutmeg.
Oh my goodness, yes.
You know, it smells like the holidays.
Yes, it does.
Allspice.
Okay.
And cloves. Okay. So now you're like, where's the liquid?
Yes.
Okay. The liquid is going to come from the apples.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to turn this heat up.
That was quick.
Yes, and we're going to add just a 1/4 cup of water.
It's time to taste a little bit of the butter, maybe?
Absolutely.
Okay. I can eat this alone. Oh my goodness. If you-
Without any bread.
Without any bread. If you-
Alleviate the carbs and everything. Right?
Chef
Just eat
James
apple
Wiggins, you are amazing here at Prince George's Community College, their Culinary Center. If you want more about their program, about Chef Wiggins, or this amazing lineup of items that you could have or add to your dinner, go to pgcc.edu, search Culinary Center for more information. Until next week, happy eating.
All right, and turning to your weather forecast tonight, mostly clear with lows near 30 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-40s. Sunday, sunny again, hot skies with high temperatures in the upper 30s. And Monday, sunshine continues with highs around 40 degrees. And that's CTV News for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. Have a good weekend. Good night.